Okay.
Can you just put that away from me? So I
Yeah.
can see
You don't. Yeah. I mean, I'm not even looking at you. I'm looking at my questions. It's not embarrassing. No. Don't
it? No,
worry
but
about
it just now it makes it more formal. Now I'm getting nervous.
Oh my gosh, no, it's literally just, you know these. Okay, Miss Palma, what do you see as a current educational issue or an educational trend emerging in your educational leadership position? What's a trend you're seeing? Or issue?
I think a big trend that's been coming across in the last couple years and continues to be a trend is the issue of understanding trauma-informed care and that social-emotional piece with students. It's just a big area, knowing that a lot of our kids come from trauma, knowing our population, but it's hard because we don't want teachers to just create this narrative that all kids have trauma and then think that they become like trauma hunters, like you have trauma, you have trauma, but isn't necessarily the case. So it's like it is a big concern because a lot of kids do come from trauma, and the trauma doesn't necessarily always come from home.
Yeah. Okay, that's
so
interesting.
It could just be from the environments that they've lived in, historical trauma from always living in poverty. It could be based on race, trauma, being underserved. Like there's lots of different
gaps that
and
you
it's
have
like,
to think about.
I think that's a big issue, and people are more in tune with it and recognize it as a concern more now than in the past. Like even 5 years ago, I don't think it was a big topic.
I agree, because I feel like ever since I graduated from school, there's been a big push for social emotional learning, which I didn't necessarily learn about that much in school. I don't even think I learned about trauma informed teaching, but not like that big, like, oh, not only are we teaching, but we're teaching like social emotional skills, so just like how to be in the world,
right?
Which is super important because there's so many different, I feel like, mediums kids are like working with, whether that's like the internet, games, just so many different platforms, and they're learning so many different things, so it's hard to like figure out what's good and what's not, you know?
Right, and it's hard because it impacts teaching. I mean, if you think you're just getting into teaching to teach, that's like not the case.
Yeah.
You're not. You are a mom, a dad, a friend, a mentor.
Do you know, Christine asks me every day if I can be her great mom / her great aunt. Can you just be my great aunt? They all think I was born during, I told you,
like 80 years ago.
Alexander Graham Bell time. You were at the first World's Fair, weren't you? I'm like, nope. No, definitely not. Okay. How is this issue or trend impacting teaching or instruction? I guess you've answered that question. Well, it's really impactful because it's just like another layer
that. And one of the things that I feel like you're not trained for it. You don't know what it is. I mean, what I learned about trauma-informed care was I learned on my own and paying attention to kids and noticing, like, oh, that kid is walking around the room for a reason. What can I do to help? This kid is mad. What's going on? And I think people don't, like, it's just a huge... You have to pay attention. It's not something that you're prepared for. It's not necessarily something that you have the capacity. And then it's like working with kids in environments that have high trauma also traumatizes you. So
Teacher
it's secondary trauma. And then how do you take care of yourself? And then come to work and take care of kids in front of you. And it's difficult. And recognizing that, and then you think on a school level,
bringing in nice segue, student learning. How is this impacting student learning?
It does impact student learning, and it impacts the school because you see the board every day. I mean, I do not, it's like it's hard. We have 12 people absent, and I want them to take care of themselves, but
so
it
they
also
come back.
impacts what's
learning.
happening here in the learning, and this year we've changed our practice and tried to not combine or split classrooms and really admin has kids. You've seen
Oh my god.
in our
Well, you've had
offices
kids since Josh and Amy left and Bree.
Right.
So since what? December?
And you've seen them come to our meetings and to lessen the impact to learning for the other classrooms so that because if we split, then it causes that person additional trauma, the teacher trauma, who then may not show up the next day, and it's just this
because they're so excited. Yeah, it's
effect, and
it's almost like a super big snowball effect.
It's super hard, and it's just an issue, but you have to be also sensitive because we're very empathetic when we work with our kids. It's just, I'm empathetic, I want to give them whatever I can, but it's almost, sometimes in the classroom, it's loving them into low expectations.
And like,
so
you don't have to do that. I get it.
Right.
I get it. You're not in the right mind space. I found myself doing that last year.
And I think that's hard. It's hard for teachers and it's hard for a school because we want you to love the kids. We want you to have relationships, but we also have to notice that we've created this effect where it's like we're providing you with low rigor because we love you so much and we want you to feel success somewhere, but that's not the way to go. So it's that how do we maintain high expectations for behavior and academics, knowing that our kids also need those breaks, they need something else. And that's a really hard thing to do as a school. It's a really hard thing to recognize in yourself.
I totally did that last year. I remember myself doing that. Like, you're not in the right mind space because of last night, whatever. So we'll do this later. Or how about you do this instead? I did that. I remember.
Yeah, I've done that as a teacher, and I've given kids breaks, and but then I have to go back and like revisit, like that's not what's best for them. Like I can love them. They need to know that I love you, but I still have these expectations for you, and I know you can do it. I think one of the biggest things that made me learn about trauma is I had a student the last time I taught 7 years ago.
But that doesn't even seem like a long time to me. Like, that's not that long ago.
Yeah, it is. But for me, it feels like forever ago. But she was a student, and hi, Michael.
Hi,
What
Michael.
you doing?
Hi. Have fun at arts.
She was, she came, her grandmother was raising her. Both her parents were in jail, and she also was a crack baby. So she had a lot of challenges, and when I got her, it was new to the school, she just scream and cry all day long, and just like the kids. The other kids were just like, can she stop? And she was just crying out for anything. She would take good attention, she would take negative attention, and unfortunately, a lot of the school supports had given up on her, and her past teachers had given up on her. And I'm like, oh my God, I have to figure out what does this kid need, because it was so disruptive.
Yeah,
and it was hard for all of us and her. And so I learned through her that, you know what, sometimes you have to deal with that emotional piece and helping with that side before you can hit academics. And before I was always like academics, and I learned that does not always work, and she taught me. Like she's on my badge. I have a picture of her on my badge because that was the biggest lesson that I learned from. See, I cry about her.
Did you figure? Like, did you?
I did.
Did she stop?
She was able to maintain. She had severe sensory issues. I had her walk with a scuba vest on, and I bought her. Marbles were big at the school. It was really weird. I'd never seen kids play with marbles like this school. It was strange. But she would put marbles in her mouth all the time, and I'd be like,
did she ever swallow them?
No, but I'd be like, take those out of your mouth. It's not safe. And then like take them all out, and they'd be one, and she would lick desks. And so I was like, she's got to have some sort of sensory overload going on. And so I bought her. They have these rings, and they have these necklaces that look like
a teething
jewelry.
ring. Yeah, like
they're for like kids, And I got her one of those to help with the sensory issues. I also purchased headphones for the whole class so that, and we all learned, like, things happen.
Yeah,
and I talked to the kids, and they learned, like, it's okay that she's doing this. She's having a moment. We're gonna let her have her moment. We're gonna ignore, and we're gonna continue working until she was ready. And so the kids, it was a learning experience for all of us.
Yeah.
We learned together, like, it's okay. People have their moments. We still love her. We're still gonna bring her back into the class. So she eventually was able to get back to the academic piece, but it took
a while,
over half the year for that to happen.
Yeah. Wow.
So it's a big impact, but you have to, what works for one kid is not going to work for the others.
Yeah.
So you have to be open. Did I answer all your questions?
Yeah, I think so. Because you answered, what is your current educational setting doing to respond? Oh, Hannah had a question about.
Hi, Hannah.
I hope this is working. About the impact